Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. I'm here with Ron Placone in studio, and I wanted to talk about, it's the 2018. We're getting into like the first primary start next month in March. What are you seeing in terms of who's running for office and some of the specific races? What's sort of catching your eye out there?
Well, what's catching my eye is that there's a lot of important primaries going on. I mean, first of all, Maria Estrada is running against Anthony Rendon here in California. Ron, I don't live in California. Well, here's the deal. Anthony Rendon single-handedly keeping single payer from happening. And not literally single-handedly. He has his establishment help. But he's keeping single payer from happening here in California. And you know what? If California or any other state really got single payer right, other states would follow. So this affects everybody, not just California. So she's trying to primary that guy out. You know, Nancy Pelosi has a primary opponent in Stephen Jaffe. Tim Canova is really making some waves over in Florida. Jim Keedy in New Jersey. And there's so many progressive candidates out there. And this is so important. And the one general thing, looking at it big picture, I tell people, vote policy over party. There's a lot of people that have a D next to their name because they're trying to infiltrate the Democrats. I'd be happy to give those people a vote. There's also some people that are trying to enter all kinds of weird ways as independents, as Greens, even as Republicans. Look at Sam Ronan.
Yeah.
So look at the policy, look at the platform, and vote that way, because we really need a progressive wave in this country.
I would suggest, I've made this suggestion before and doing several interviews with Our Voice USA. They have an app, it just started, where you can enter your policy, they ask you 25 questions, and then they come to a, kind of a where your policies are. And so when you put in this candidate's name, they'll say this candidate is 86% in line with what your beliefs are, which I think is a fine one of many ways to do what Ron is talking about, which is do the research and vote on the policy. Don't get tied up in the identity politics or the R's and the D's next to the name. Find the policy and have your own purity test, what's important to you, whatever, single payer, forgiving student loan debt, ending war, no corporate money, whatever those things are for you, and then back those people. And going back to your point about, what's her name, Marissa Estrada? Is it Marissa?
Maria Estrada.
Maria Estrada, who's running against Anthony Rendon. If you're like what Ron was saying, it is true, it does affect all of us. You can't vote, obviously. You don't have a vote in an election that's not in your state, but you could donate to their campaign if need be, or help out, or even just get the word out to any friends and family you have in California, or in any state where there's a key race where people are running. And again, you bring up Sam Ronan. I've interviewed him on this show, and it's really when he explained why he's running as a Republican. He's running as a Republican, and it's very smart. Because
it is clever what he's doing.
Because he's bringing up all these progressive points of view, and no one would listen to him in his district if he had a D next to his name. But because he's running as a Republican, and actually a lot of, the Republican Party used to be kind of progressive. I mean, years ago, decades, centuries ago maybe. But like, it's interesting what he's doing and how he's going about it, which is ultimately, it's about getting progressives in there, not just Democrats.
Well, and keep in mind, selling the idea of a Republican populist is what put Trump in the White House.
Yep.
It was a lie, but it was what put him in the White House. He sold that idea to people, and they bought it. Sam's actually doing it for real.
He's doing it for real. I mean, I always remind people, Trump blew up the Republican Party in the primary. He said in those debates, I mean, Jeb Bush, 9/11 happened on your dad's watch. He was like, he said all this crazy shit, and people bought it. So if you had an actual, not a liar, not a xenophobic racist, but an actual progressive pushing these policies, I think a populist Republican could really do well.
Yeah, and when you just have one money party anyway, the rules are off.
Right.
And I just want to add a quick thing, like Virginia is seeing a huge progressive wave right now. And we're seeing some effects of what we're talking about. Recently, some of the new Democrats in there, some DSA members, Lee Carter, the guy that ran as a socialist, even though the establishment told him not to and he won anyway, they recently beat old Dominion Energy, the energy monopoly company. They were going to have this policy where they were going to be able to double dip and charge people double. And these new Democrats, they stopped it. You know why? Because they ran on not taking corporate money. money. So when someone tells you, oh, you're a purist, you want people that don't take corporate money, no, I want results. And we just saw results. On one side, you had the Democrats and Republicans that were bought. And on the other side, you had the people, and there were 6 Republicans too, actually, that weren't bought. And the people that weren't bought saved their residents some money and went toe-to-toe against the energy company. So we're not being purists, we're being realists.
And it works. There's an example. That's the example you use when people say, oh, that'll never work, it's pie in the sky. I go, no, it did work. So, guys, thank you for paying attention and tuning into the show. And pay close attention to all your local races and get behind, as Ron said, the policy, not the party. Thanks for watching the show. We're going to be going on the road in May, the Progressive Comedy Tour through Arizona, starting May 9th in Tempe, at Lake Havasu on the 10th. And then we're figuring out...
San Diego, maybe Tucson, maybe Vegas. And, of course, March 15th, right here in Los Angeles, we're going to be at the Sycamore Tavern upstairs at the Dojo, new venue in town. It's going to be a fun time.
All political comics talking some progressive noise. It's going to be awesome.
Yep.
And of course, go to mylink.grahamelwood.com. You can get the links to all these shows once I get them. And the FNX Comedy Experience is still shooting. We have episodes through April. And the Patreon, all that business in the show notes below. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.